Welcome to my channel, guys. My name is Robbie. I also go by the name of Closing Dime. I'm a profitable sports bettor from Massachusetts. I made over $40,000 last year sports betting using positive EV strategies. In this video, I'm going to talk about what it takes to become a successful positive EV bettor. There's 4 things you really need to focus on when it comes to positive EV betting and how to be successful doing it. Number 1 is a mindset. I'd say number 2 is the time. 3 would be a little money, and 4 would be knowledge. So I'm going to go over those 4 different categories. Those are the main categories you need to be a successful sports bettor. I'm just going to go over a few things, and you can see if positive EV betting is right for you or if it's something you would rather avoid. The first thing I want to talk about is the mindset of a profitable sports bettor, in particular, a positive EV sports bettor. Now, as a positive EV sports bettor, you're placing sometimes thousands of bets every month, hundreds of bets a day. So it's a real different mindset than someone that's just handicapping games and picking their spots, placing a few big bets a day and making money. The point of a positive EV bettor is to make a small ROI over the course of thousands of bets. So basically, you need a completely different mindset. The big thing here is, if you look at this chart right here, it looks like it's just a gradual incline of profits. But I'm telling you, it's not that pretty. This chart right here, I lost a lot of money over the course of 1 week. And if I were to start positive EV betting that week, I would have easily quit right after. And it's so hard to look at this chart and then just continue to place bets with the same exact strategies over and over. You feel like you're going crazy, and you really start doubting yourself when you get into these bad trends. But when you think about the probability over thousands of bets, you're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to have big downswings, but the upswings always are more dramatic than the downswings. Along with the mindset of being able to handle really bad downswings and not get too low on yourself, or when you're going up, you're having a crazy week with a 20% ROI over the course of 100 bets, and you think you're unstoppable, you're not. Trust me, you need to keep a level, you need to be level-headed through the ups and downs. You need the same strategy, and you need to just trust the math and how all positive EV betting works. Now, the other thing that a lot of people struggle with is dropping their ego. Sports betting is such an emotional game. The sports in general are emotional, and there's buzzer beaters, there's crazy comebacks, and you take all this personally when your team's up or down. But when it comes to positive EV betting, you're just betting based on value. So you don't have to worry about, these aren't your picks necessarily. You're picking value, but if you go on a streak of losing a bunch of games, you're not going to take it to heart because you're just betting with math. A lot of people really hate betting just strictly based on probabilities, and they really want to pick winners and losers. I'm telling you right now, picking winners or losers does not matter. I know as a positive EV bettor, if I placed a bet that gained value before the line closed, then before that game even starts, I'm happy with the bet. Win or lose, I know is a good bet. And when you're handicapping games, if you pick our winners or losers, you live and die by your decisions. When you're positive EV betting, before the game even starts, I know whether it was a good bet or not. Building on my last point about having to drop your ego, this is the other thing that people struggle with a lot, and a big turnoff to why people don't like positive EV betting. But essentially, you need to forget every opinion you have about sports. Like I said, you're just betting with math. People really, really struggle with this, where, let's say a positive EV bet comes up and it's against their home team, and they've been watching that team all year long. They think it's a great matchup. There's no way they can lose. I'm telling you right now, you don't know as much as the sports books. They price the lines pretty accurately, and you just need to trust the sports books' lines. That's how positive EV betting works. We take a group average of all the sports betting lines. We find outliers and we bet them. That's all it is. It's simple math. You don't need to know anything about the sport you're betting. That's what makes it great. It can take you an hour or two to handicap one line, and I can place probably 50 bets in 1 or 2 hours positive EV betting. So it's a great alternative to bottom-up betting. If you can top-down bet, you'll save a lot of time and place a lot more bets. All right, the second thing I want to talk about is the money. Now, a lot of people, you see these people on Picket, on Twitter, they're posting, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, positive EV betting. And these people might be doing this full time. And I actually believe a lot of these numbers. I know it's possible. I have a full-time job, 2 kids. I made 40 grand last year, positive EV betting. So I know if I put a lot more time into it, I can make more money. But essentially, the problem here is that a lot of positive EV betting websites like OddsJam and Outlier, they charge quite a bit of money to get into the positive EV betting space. Now, I started with a $2,000 bankroll. I was betting $10 to $20 a play, and I turned that into $42,000. But say you only have $200 to play with, you're not going to sign up for OddsJam, which is $200 subscription a month. So what I recommend is signing up for my Discord called SharpMoney. We're basically just a group of positive EV sports bettors. We help each other out, and we have a positive EV bot that identifies EV plays for you the same way OddsJam does, the same way Outlier does. It's all automated. You'll get notifications for the bets that are available to the books that you have, and it's just a great way to make money. So let's continue. The other thing the Sharp Money Discord does is it identifies promos. And when you have a smaller bankroll, you can really get some really crazy ROIs when you're betting a lot of these promos. A lot of these promos have 20% edges sometimes. So if you're able to bet, multiple units with a 20% edge, your ROI is going to be crazy by the end of the month. So the big thing with a low or smaller bankroll is just take advantage of the promos and play the positive EV plays that you can. It really depends on your goal and how much money you have. Obviously, if you have a $10,000 starting bankroll, I would recommend OddsJam, maybe even the Platinum plan, and that's going to probably cost you, $500 to $1,000 a month. But if you're able to bet $100, $200 units, then it might be worth having OddsJam. Now, if your goal is to be a little bit more of a casual, positive EV bettor, and you're just trying to make some profits, maybe you only have a few $100s, maybe you join the Sharp Money Discord and you grow your bankroll from 200 to 1,000 over the course of a year. And then maybe once you're at $1,000 or $2,000, you can look into some of these other websites and continue to help build. But the problem with a lot of positive EV bettors or people in general is we don't have a lot of money to start. I didn't have too much money to start. So you need a starting point, and the Sharp Money Discord is that starting point for you. You can start with a low amount of money, build it up quick. That's the thing with positive EV betting is you scale quickly because you can make 3 to 5% every day. So if you start with $100 and you make 5% that day, then you have 105, and then you make 5% on that the next day, and it snowballs really quick. This isn't like the stock market where if you make 5%, it's over the course of a year. Now these are like daily ROIs, so you can build quickly, and money is important, but you can start small, and that's where a lot of people have to start. So third thing I want to talk about is time. You got to figure out how much time this is going to take. And a lot of that is going to be based on your goals. If your goal is to make tens of thousands of dollars in a year, then obviously you're going to want to put in a lot more time. I would say you're going to want to put in probably 2 to 3 hours a day sports betting. Now that might sound ridiculous for a lot of people, but if you enjoy doing it, then it's fun and it doesn't feel like you're, working 2 to 3 hours a day. And you can also break this up. So I recommend sitting down if you can, like an hour before tip off. So if games typically start at 8 o'clock, then sit down from 7 to 8 and place bets. That's where a lot of the sharp money comes in and starts moving lines. That's where you start finding value. You hear if players are injured, the starting lineups come out, all that stuff, really an hour or two before the game. If you can sit down, you'll be able to find a ton of bets there. But also periodically throughout the day, just check your phone, find bets during your lunch break. In the morning, I used to get up an hour before work every day when I first really started getting into betting. I would place, 20 to 30 bets before I started my day. And then throughout the day, I would, continue to place more bets. So time is kind of all over the place depending on what your goal is. If you want to just make a little money sports betting and be able to say, hey, I'm a profitable sports bettor, then you can probably place, 10 to 20 bets a day. It'll only take you an hour to do. And, you'll be able to do something you love doing in sports betting and make money. It's sort of the best of both worlds. Or you can really dedicate yourself, wake up that extra hour, stay up that extra hour late. The thing with sports betting is the market is open 24/7. This isn't like the stock market when it closes at night. I wake up at 3 a.m. to feed my kids, and I'm betting Korean baseball because the game's just about to start and sharp money came in. So it's really crazy how much time you can put into this. Though obviously, the more time you put in, the better. But you don't want to completely dedicate your whole life to this. Like I said, there's no closing time, so there's always this draw to your phone or to computer to want to place bets, but you got to find the time to put the phone down, put the computer down, and just get back to reality, because you always have this draw to place more valuable bets. It's hard. You feel like you're leaving money on the table when you're not placing EV bets and you're just hanging out. So that's one. So to wrap this up, yes, positive EV betting does take time, but you don't have to get too crazy with it. Like I said, you can find a lot of bets 1 hour before tip off. You just can dedicate, an hour, 30 minutes, and then just periodically check your phone when you can, and you're going to be really successful positive EV betting. So really depends on your goals, how much time you want to put into it. The more effort you put in, the more results you get. So it's all on you, and that's a call you can make. The last thing I want to talk about is knowledge. What do you need to know to get into positive EV betting? Now, I think it is more important to be better with math than it is to be about understanding sports and how they work. So basically, the math side of positive EV betting, you need to understand how to devig a line, how EV is calculated, how implied probability is calculated, and some simple things like that. Now, I have a bunch of YouTube videos about it, and there's a lot of other people that make great YouTube videos about positive EV betting concepts. So before you dive into placing your first positive EV bet, I would first learn a little bit about the concepts and how it works. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the sports side. What do you need to know about sports? Like I said earlier, you don't really need to know about sports. It's actually maybe even better off you don't know anything about sports, because then you won't factor in your opinion when you're placing your bets. One thing that is really good to know is the players, which teams they play for, and just how to navigate a sports book. So positive EV lines, you're finding value, and these lines correct themselves quickly. So if you're finding a play that gets flagged at plus 200 odds, it could quickly drop to plus 150. You want to catch that play before it drops. So if it comes up, Trae Young over threes, you need to know Trae Young plays for the Hawks. So you need to be able to get into the sports book, find the Hawks game. And then you need to know where to find 3-pointers made in that book. The quicker you can find the bets and place them, the better off you're going to be as a positive EV bettor. So it's not about knowing the sports. You need to know how to navigate a sports book better, and how to find who a player plays for. I've had circumstances where players come up and I've never heard their names before, so I quickly Google search them or type them into the sports book to find what team they're on, and then you can go from there. But the quicker you are with positive EV betting, the better. But it really doesn't take too much knowledge to get into the positive EV betting space. If you want to learn more about positive EV sports betting, you can join the SharpMoney Discord absolutely for free. We have a free section of our Discord where we just teach people how to positive EV bet. You can come there. You can ask me questions. I'm in there all day long. We also share a bunch of free plays that our bot identifies as positive EV sports bets. So you can tag along with those. You can tail those bets. You can sort of get your feet wet, see if it's something you want to do. And then if you would like to, you can upgrade to our premium plan that has access to all of our positive EV bots. We have NBA player props. We have MLB player props. And we have all the main markets, alternate markets for MLB, NFL, WNBA, Korean baseball, Indian cricket leagues, you name it. We have a lot of markets covered with our positive EV bot. So I recommend anyone watching this video that wants to learn more about positive EV betting, join the SharpMoney Discord. There's a lot of people in there that are willing to help, myself included. We all got to start somewhere. This can be the beginning to your profitable sports betting journey. So thanks for watching my video. Really appreciate you guys. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out my other videos. I have a lot about profitable sports betting. I hope you guys kill it. Let's go make some money.